So I want to talk about why Putin wants to invade Ukraine. I think that's a very important question to ask. I think it's important to understand what's going on in Putin's head. Why does he really want to do this? So let's say we do get into World War III, which can be a legit thing, and that can really happen. If we do get into World War III, we're going to look back. If we survive it, we're going to look back and we're going to look at the president of Russia, Vladimir Putin, and his problem. And his problem is that Putin's Russia is weak. It can no longer stand toe-to-toe with the U.S. And Europe, it no longer has Europe in a stalemate like it used to. In fact, it sees Europe as more so dominated by this ever-encroaching anti-Russian alliance. And from the Russian perspective, that means they're at imminent danger, that they're at risk, vulnerable to a hostile Western takeover, similarly to what's happened in Iraq and Libya. And on top of that, there's more of an urgency for Putin himself because he has his own political problems at home himself. In 2012, during his reelection, there was protests and accusations of fraud, which basically weakened his political legitimacy. And then in 2014, it worsened as the economy collapsed. And, Putin basically bargained with the Russian people, promising to deliver economic growth, and really had nothing else to offer than the economy. And so with the weakened economy, his tactic is to assert more power than they actually have. And what he's decided to do was to say, okay, since we don't have a world-class military that can match or go toe-to-toe with these Western NATO powers, what I'm going to do is I'm going to threaten nuclear warfare at a lower threshold. So you make one wrong move, I'm using nuclear weapons here. And he's basically playing chicken with the Western powers. And what's different here from this old tactic of the Cold War is that we no longer have measures in place anymore that prevent us from making a wrong move or a mistake that could be misconstrued as a legit attack. So it means that there is no safety net for this. And with Russia being in a decline economically and not having the military to match toe-to-toe and willing to use nuclear weapons, it puts everything at risk. He's basically ready to risk it all to make Russia great again, because he feels that with Europe being more Western influenced and the U.S., he wants to return Russia back to the Soviet Union days when they had more power, when they were more on the world stage, they were a world player. And he's ready to risk it all. That's basically what's happening here.